Hello there! Sorry for the lack of videos. And for a special starter, it's Alexa, set time for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
Probably won't be an entire hour, but hey, do as long as it must. Anyway, since mods keep on updating annoyingly, I'm doing a mod that never really updates. For Holden, the Cold War Iron Curtain mod. Playing as the Soviets under Big Daddy Stalin, the General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, Chairman of the Council of Ministers of the Soviet Union, and Supreme Commander of the Soviet Armed Forces. Or in Russian, one second. You have to translate. Soviet Union. Of Minister of the Soviet Union, Supreme Commander of the Soviet forces. So in Russian, his title will be Generalny Sekretar Коммунистической партии Советского Союза, председатель Совета Министров Советского Союза, Верховный главнокомандующий вооруженными силами СССР. Damn, that's a mouthful. Well, anyway, our big bushy friend here. Let's start this game. Yeah, the time's on. And that took 5 entire minutes. So first things first, get the Zhdanov doctrine, which was the major doctrine that the Soviets used. The Zhdanov doctrine, created by Andrei Zhdanov, dictates the world is divided into two camps, imperialists and communists, and we as the leaders of the latter, the United States in chief is the imperialist of the as the chief imperialist nation. That then we go to the percentage agreements. Then we just throw the agreement into the bin. Then we go into Turkey, then Yugoslavia, and then we carve up Turkey. Also, Kurdistan becomes a country. So, first hack of the day. Assassinate Roman Shukeyevich. Successful assassination of Roman Shukeyevich after several recon passes and countless hours of preparation brought a bombing fight against the remote Ukrainian insurgent army facilities, from apricot farms to beachside modern houses. Their militia facilities were greatly weakened. Our strikes leveled training facilities, made opportunistic runs against supply convoys, destroyed staging areas, and generally knocked out remote bases. The Ukrainian insurgent army is now vastly weaker and lacks the remote facilities will disconnect their network and cells operating between cities. The enemy will now be less capable of making attacks and will be less aggressive in the future. Great news. Now time to liquidate them. Also, this is our newspaper. I do not know Krellic, so I have no idea what this means. The demise of the Ukrainian Insurgent Army. The Red Army has probably announced the complete annihilation of the Ukrainian Insurgent Army, or UIA. After years of fighting, the UIA has been utterly destroyed after several strikes against the remnant Ukrainian Insurgent Army, wiped out the fleeing remaining leaders and killed off the few assets they have left. So many insurgents, militant Ukrainian independence supporters died that the United Insurgent Army is unlikely to ever be able to resurge. In a press conference, the head of Pravda, the Soviet Union state media company, I'm pretty sure that's what it says, Pravda, because there's two A's, probably announced that this should stand as a warning against all those who stand against the workers of the Soviet Union. People, Ukrainian loyalists will aid the fight, as well as countless unnamed confidential special domestic agents will be rewarded with their sacrifice and service to the Soviet Union. Interesting. Well, anyway, let's see what wars are around. So there's Indochina, Greece, and China. So fun fact, don't send troops down here, they won't be needed. We send them to the north. The Dang Con San Vietnam is, or the Communist Party of Vietnam is. So send troops to Communist Party of China, which is also called, which is actual name is the Communist Party of China, or the Zhangguo Gongchang Dang. It's technically Maoist, but who cares? Need to recognize you. Send people to help the Greek Democratic Army, led by the Communist Party of Greece, or the Communistic Komoma Eliadas. I said that probably very wrong. We also need to go after Yugoslavia, led by the Komunistika Partija Yugoslavia. Since I'm going through basically everything, guess I'll also go through the ones where our allies have. So there's the People's Socialist Republic of Albania, led by the Partij e Prunez e Shqipërisë. The People's Republic of Bulgaria, led by the Bulgarska Komunistska Partija. Socialist Republic of Romania, led by the Partidul Muncitoresc Roman. The Hungarian People's Party, led by the Magyar Dolgozók Partija. The Czechoslovak Republic, led by the Komunistka Strana Czechoslovska. The Polish People's Republic, led by the Polska Zjednoczona Partia Robotnicza. There's also the Soviet military administration in Germany, but that's currently supposedly led by the Socialist Einheitspartie Deutschland, which in reality is just led by the Soviet commander of the region, Vasily Sokolovsky. Funnily enough, the two other puppets we should have, the People's Republic of Mongolian People's Republic and the East Turkestan Republic, are technically not in our faction, even though technically they were both puppets. This one led by the Sharkly Turkestan Inquilawai Partisi, and the Mongolian People's Party led by the Mongolian People's Party, or the Mongol Ardin Suget Nam. Anyway, let's get some stuff. So, already got the AK, so I can't do anything for you. So, Desert Warfare Tactics. Get the Kill Escape Supercomputer. I surprisingly can't do any of EU, even though about right around time, but who am I to judge simple logic? Yeah, screw it. I guess I'll get titanium alloy. Finally, spacecraft stuff. The space. Because who doesn't love space? Get you. Ignore you, that's for when we want to drop nukes. Not planning to purchase any of that. Can't do anything with you. Then that's good, we're not taking out any of that. Can't do anything with you. I guess we can't even do that because of our war's power and it doesn't work like that. Anyway, let's get our troops. So, I just 13 stacking here under Kuzma Nikitovich Galeski. You will be under Isa Alexandrovich Peliev. Two of you in here. Put you under Pavel Batov. Put you here. Put you under Alexander Gorbatov. Put you under Markian Mikhailovich Popov. That's all our troops, and put you under Vasily Kuznetsov. Put you under Gorgy Zhukov. That's all that. Put you under Ivan Konev. So, how many does the Greek Democratic Army need? 1. Right. There you go. Chinese want 8. Damn it. Okay, so you get separated. Not done anything for you yet. There we go. Send you there. Send these there. How many do you want? You just want some guy. Random guy, so random guy. Then of doctrine obtained. Good. Here's your random guy. Damn it. There we go. There we go. No. Oh yeah. Yeah, probably just gonna have a separate Austrian nation. The free percentage agreement doesn't have a bit. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. That. You're going over there. Get mass assault. That's Russian. And begin. Oh yeah, technically we do own the Guangdong bit. We'll get back to China if the Chinese win. Usually the communists do win. First unit came to the front already. Put you under Nikander Chibisov. You go over there. And our other units came. You go over there under Trung Din, because the Vietnamese are sending over some of their units to help. And you guys, we down. Kind of under that region. Guess you go over here and try to take Changsha. Release of 1984. On the 8th of June 1949, George Orwell published the dystopian novel 1984. It's in the distant year of 1984, won't be distant for long, focuses on the three megalithic states of their constant shifting war of each other, of their own people during the early 1950s. The United Kingdom becomes involved in the Third World War, which is coming near nowadays. This time involving nuclear weapons like used over Japan in 1945. Britain falls to civil war and authoritative English Socialist Party, or INGSOC. Would it be INGSOC? Merges victorious in the authoritarian state. Through policed history is revised, and what our policed history is revised, and cult personality of the mustached Big Brother reigns supreme. What nonsense! Yes, it's totally not referencing Stalin in any way, shape, or form. I'm recording. Alright, the percentage agreement has been done. Now we throw it in the trash. Coal miners striking Australia. Coal miners striking Australia. Miners of the Australian working class have erupted into a strike, halting the nation into a standstill. Seems as continuous continuation, not continuous, of turmoil of previous year's railway strike in the state of Queensland. Miners struggle to improve wages and long service leaves has left them no choice but to apply necessary action. This is not without a potential outside interference, and as the Miner Federation has been heavily influenced by the Soviet Union's common form policy that promotes of class conflict and promotes communist leadership of the working class struggle against the current ruling government of the ALP, or the Australian Labor Party. Ironically, it was Socialist branch. In response, the union officials have ordered to hand over union funds to the Industrial Registrar, and legislation that passed made it illegal to give strikers and their families financial support. Has Chifley's hand been forced? Can't do anything there just yet. How's everything going down in Greece? Oh, damn, we're invading Greece. Maintain pressure on the Turkish border. The Turkish government has so far pushed our claims straight, are hoping for West's support, but it will, if we force a regime change, the new government will hand us what we want. We're already called in. Here. We go to here. Marching on to Thessaloniki, lads. My god, that's loud. Persia's got air support. The People's Republic of China, which hasn't even formed yet, started a foreign ministry in the USA and the Soviet Union after their four-year-long war. Even before that, with the Republic of China, with the Republic of China, People's Republic of China has claimed the government be the one true China, while the Republic of China has occupied Taipei. For now, it seems the USSR has recognized the new Chinese government, while the US still recognizes the Republic of China as the one China. Well, welcome to us. Shanghai has fallen. After bitter conflict, the People's Liberation Army, or PLA, forces entered Shanghai victoriously. Both the People's Republic of China and the Republic of China view the control of Shanghai as the largest and most economically powerful city in China. Control of the city is seemed essential for either side to claim victory. Both committed large military forces for the campaign. The Republic of China hoped to maintain control of the city and use it as a base to eventually restore their rule across China. For the communists, control of the city will be a great help in regionalizing its rule across China and cripple the Republic of China's resistance. The Republic of Chinese forces fought intensely, but due to several military blunders, their forces were overwhelmed, and the People's Liberation Army and the by the People's Liberation Army. People's Liberation claimed to have captured many prisoners and a large amount of equipment from the Republic of China. Well, the Republic of China denies the claims, considering how much resources the Republic of China committed to defending Shanghai. Observers now believe the People's Liberation Army may have an insurmountable advantage over the Republic of China in the mainland. Another blow to the Kingdom Tongue. Alright. I should get my Air Force down there. That's a genius idea that I had to figure out until just right now. This is why it's still making the wrong Thessaloniki. If I won't any longer. Supreme Court frees the Hollywood 10. The Supreme Court rules that overturn the conviction against the so-called Hollywood 10 views writers and directors charged for refusing to appear before the House Committee of Un-American Activities, or HOAC, to name communists in the film industry. The new progressive judges on the bench shifted to vote to overturn the conviction, and the decision being widely criticized by conservative newspapers. Congressmen who accused the court of interfering in protection of national security of the United States. The Supreme Court ruled the conviction and prison terms are unconstitutional and excessive. The courts have taken a strong stance in defense of individual freedoms, a voice of reason in this chaos. No, I'll play that. Turkey crumbles to Soviet pressure. The Communist Party, alongside sympathizers across the key institutions, have launched a takeover of the country. Many Turks rejected the country's lack of progress on more democratic reforms. Others see the crisis over the Turkish Strait as more evidence the policy is a disaster. Communists have found our support in urban areas by Turks who seem government to slow down or fail to follow through with the modernized policies of the Republic founders, Mustafa Kemal. They wish to see the symbol of reactionary life, religiosity and conservatism much before firmly uprooting the new Turkish regime and announce a hopefully fulfilling of the Turkish march into the modern society. The United States, if said to be stunned by these developments, were rumored to have emerged more conservative, religious and Kemalist elements in rural areas might emerge as resistance to the new communist regime. An intriguing development, which it may have forced to happen. So once we've done this, so first things first, you guys don't need to be there anymore. You can all leave now. Can come help the front out here. Also, we now have a Soviet military occupation here, led by Pavel Batov, while he's also in here, led by the Turkiya Communist Partisi. Well, it's not most likely not led by the Communist Party. Also, these guys still haven't, formed the German Democratic Republic. I don't know why the game just doesn't like you, doing this. Probably have to tag over and force them to do it. It's gonna lag my game in a minute. mental. You know what I'm gonna do right now. T-debug first. Tag a DDR. No, it has not. It just takes a really goddamn long time. Do this. Tag solve T-debug. Alright. Now we did an encirclement too. Come on, lads, to Athens. Ceasefires have been announced by the Netherlands. A round-table conference will be held in the Netherlands later this month for talks occur. There must be complete ceasefire in Java and Sumatra. After discussion, it was agreed that Java will a ceasefire beginning in August the 11th, or the 11th of August, while Sumatra still starts in its ceasefire in August of the 12th of August. Once all fighting is ended, there will be a process to oversee the transfer of military authority from the Dutch and Indonesian regular forces to Republican forces. Is the next few weeks and months will determine the destiny of Indonesia. Good day. Let's hello. I've got Greece to liberate. Partition Yugoslavia. Everyone, after our successful invasion of Yugoslavia, we didn't even touch them, who dared to usurp our authority, Socialist Brotherhood in Eastern Europe, we may physician Comrade Stalin has ordered a conference of all neighboring countries to discuss how former Yugoslavian territory shall be split up, as to see how we should go about moving forward, whether leaving it alone or giving territory to Albania and Greece. Everything one gets something. I've seen the border go before, and trust me, it's not even that bad. At least to me, it's not that bad. To some people, it may be terrible. So while that's going down, now we can do this in time. Yeah, probably won't. But the German question. The siege of Surakarta, Indonesian Republic forces infiltrated areas around Surakarta and are poised to launch an assault with Dutch forces and their local allies were unable to stop the rebel advances and are fortifying the city centre. The operation has occurred just days before the ceasefire on Java is expected to come into force. The Poland government dismissed accusations its offences disrupts peace efforts, claiming the forces will fly etc. when it comes into effect. The number of Republican forces involved said to be hundreds. An escalation. POW question. The Soviet occupation government in Turkey has presented us with a pressing issue of Turkish POWs. After deliberation, the Politburo has come up with two possible solutions. First is a textbook repeat of actions in the Great Patriotic War. Just like the German and Japanese POWs, Turkish POWs will be hard to work rebuilding our great nation, while attempting this could be alienating the Turkish proletariat from our great civic experience. Second opinion is send them home, re-equip the Turkish army and fight for the working class. While explaining this plan will guarantee the win of Turkish people and demonstrate Comrade Stalin's omnipotence. They shall become brothers in arms. So they're now doing the Greek question. So are we going to re-establish Turkish nationalism or fosters an Anatolian identity? Hopefully this one. Poland's capture Sorokarta just hours before the ceasefire is taking place. Java had scheduled peace talks. Polish forces captured the symbolic and strategic vital city of Sorokarta. Dutch forces failed to hold the city and ultimately withdrew through the Polish claims to have captured many prisoners. The Polish assault began just days ago, resulting in the forces rapidly putting Sorokarta under siege. In the next few days, colonial resistance largely collapsed. Some observers believe the hit-and-run tactic adopted by Republican forces in Java sapped Dutch morale, leading to the quick collapse of resistance. There are rumours that arguments amongst Dutch military officials as there was not enough effort to bring in reinforcements to the city. Lastly, the Reform gives them commanding position in the peace talks in the Netherlands. That's it. That is it. The Australian strike ends at last. The tumultuous 2 months of strikes and fights, of the miners of Australia have officially ended, and the Chifley government saw no other choice to deploy troops and break the coal strike through violence and often brutal means to end the crisis. Troops were even deployed to the mines themselves to make sure the interim workers could keep the nation running on the post-war reconstruction phase. The decision to authorize the military operation was not been without scrutiny. The government's anti-communist resolve appears to be insufficient in the minds of many Australians. While similarly defeated communism still remains an influential factor throughout the factor enough within the working class where many are considering voting for Menzies' coalition at the upcoming election. While it remains whether Chifley made the correct decision remains seen. Coal begins to flow as normal, an end of working class chaos. Made a large encirclement. That was more or less by accident, but ceasefire in Java. The people of Java finally breathe a sigh of relief as a ceasefire comes into effect. The colonial and Republican forces have reported to have been ensuring ceasefire conditions are met. Both sides do not want it. Upcoming peace talks have any setbacks. Despite this, there are reports of some local irregulars and militia forces resisting efforts by the Republican military to integrate them and disarm them. The Republican government is seeking to establish an organized national military before the Dutch set their independence. The Dutch forces will be having to end this deadly hit-and-run attacks by Republican forces engaged in guerrilla war. Great. Yes, we've taken Athens. Also, that's happened. Ceasefire in Sumatra. 40 minutes left. Ceasefire in Sumatra. The people of Sumatra can finally breathe a sigh of relief as the ceasefire comes into effect in Iran, clearing a road for the reporting ensuring ceasefire conditions are met both sides. So it's basically the same thing as previously. Peace is next. Alright. You go take Zalakita. Save. Dutch-Indonesia runabout conference begins. After years of fighting, representatives of the Netherlands, Indonesia Nationalist and Federal Consultative Assembly, representing the Dutch established states of Indonesia in Indonesia, are meeting in The Hague. The United Nations Commission of Indonesia is facilitating talks to discuss are aimed at ensuring all outstanding issues being resolved between the Netherlands and Indonesia are resolved prior to the cession of sovereignty of an independent Indonesia. Although the nationalists hope for a stronger central government in support of nationalist unity, before the conference they agreed to compromise the Federal Consultative Assembly on a unified position of further constitutions. Let the talks begin. There is the state of East Indonesia. Cool. Anyway. The Kingdom of Greece capitulates. The Greek government has gone into exile, and our main forces have capitulated to the Greek, and the main force has capitulated to the Greek Democratic Army, who is now in control of their home area. Although the struggle between the Greek Democratic Army and the Kingdom of Greece is over, Greek Democratic is still all-out war and fighting continue elsewhere. Uncertain times. So well done, Demetrios Sadilis. You don't need to do your great offensive because you just won. Alright, I need to do a focus. Because you're going down until October, so that makes sense. Assist the Greek reconstruction. Soon becoming the Greek Democratic Republic. There we go. I did actually have here. Now the Greek Civil War has been resolved with the communists prevailing thanks to our aid. It's time to invite them to come and form along with the rest of Eastern Europe. Establish military bases on Greece. Now that Greece is solidified under communist control, we should expand our strategy of influence in southern Europe and the Mediterranean by building several bases and house our troops in Greece. God damn it, they went down Turkish nationalism. That was intense. The People's Republic of China lobbying efforts for Asian recognition. The People's Republic of China is furthering diplomatic recognition recently as chairman of the PRC. So if they survive another 615 days, or manage to just kick the Republic of China off mainland, they're basically winning. Lobbying efforts and Asian recognition. The People's Republic of China, furthering the diplomatic recognition and recently carrying of the PRC, or People's Republic of China, has started asked for nature to recognize its legitimacy over its nationalist counterpart. The Republic of China as soon recognize its legitimacy. The Republic of China as soon as it emerged from the Civil War. The People's Republic of China was immediately recognized by the USSR and the Socialist states, and the states comprised of a sphere of influence such as the Socialist Republic of Romania, the Polish People's Republic, and the Hungarian People's Republic. China is asking for recognition from Asian states such as India, North Vietnam. Many experts claim that a question of time until the PRC, the People's Republic of China, is recognized worldwide, while others claim that the idea of the People's Republic of China being internationally recognized is a pipe dream and a fate so uncertain. Interesting. That's not a pipe dream, has become mostly reality. Some people still believe the Taipei government is the real Republic of China. I do too. God save Li Zongren. Yeah, the Democratic Republic of Greece. Still some things to do. Now you can do that. Now doing the Armenian question. And finally, the Democratic Republic of Greece has been established with this flag of the Cross of St. Michael. Establishment of the Democratic Republic of Greece. The Greek Civil War has ended in a victory for the Communist Party of Greece. The new regime quickly announced the establishment of the Democratic Republic of Greece. This marks the end of the Kingdom of Greece. Many socialist states have already recognized the Greek government, announcing plans to establish or expand embassies in the country. Allies of the defunct Kingdom of Greece have closer use the embassies, but will likely return in time. The Greek people anxiously wait for the new regime will bring a red East Mediterranean, a definite red Black Sea. That is for sure. Tag DDR. Especially on a weak computer like this. Establish the DDR. Tag solve. Prayer, yeah. So, the Armenian question. Reports of violence against Armenian comrades in Anatolia have begun to flood in. Something must be done due to the nature and complexity of the region. Only two options are feasible. First option is just send the Armenian Turks to new conquered regions of the Armenian SSR. We get that focus here. This would hopefully both reinforce our hold on the new region and give all the Armenians a safe place to live, while arguably more effective would be solving the problem just kicking a can down the road. The second option is go full steam ahead with a socialist unity action, like offering the Armenians more representation in government, forced diversification of workplaces, and most controversially, ordering the Greek civil government to recognize the Armenian genocide. Tell them to work together. Turkey recognized the Armenian genocide. Safik Husnu is still not in power yet. and Microsoft needs an update. Remind me later. Leader of the civilian government of Turkey and General Secretary of the TKP, Turkey. Turkey Communist Partisi. He has announced the world that the former Ottoman Empire and the birthplace of most Turkish citizens was responsible for a deed too heinous and proper for socialists to overlook. 40 years ago, the land of Turkey was part of a genocide perpetrated by Turks of the Armenians and Greek proletariat. This event would later be called the Armenian Genocide, also referenced Ausstatten und Ruinen, the East German national anthem, and how, just like the GDR, the German Democratic Republic, all Turkish people should work toward letting the light of peace shine, so that mother never mourns her son. Complementing her son's word, Turkish leaders of local governments have erected monuments to these hundreds of thousands of nameless victims of imperialist cruelty. It's about time. While trying to call me. Maybe got 1 minute. I can put her off for a second. Alright. Push for Bosphorus border changes. Now that we have ensured a friendly Turkey, we will redraw the borders. One might say, hey, matte paint to whatever we want. We will have two main goals here. The first, naturally, is our control of the Kerch Strait. The second is create a state for the oppressed Kurds in Turkey, because that's what they planned if Russia, the Soviets invaded Turkey. They planned to create a...
From Tom. Tom, your dinner is cold.
Thanks. Plan to make a Kurdish state. Also, we have 1 minute remaining. Will we see it in this video? Probably not. Also, Siam is now Thailand. Thailand changed its national name once more. While the administration of Piek Flin Imbun Songkran, a nationalist who it did not take long for the nation to be renamed from Siam to Thailand, is a nation many ethnicities and cultures. The change was originated from a nationalist leader decided to modernize Thailand with a campaign of westernization which encompassed a western-style clothing, a new national anthem and flag, a western calendar. It also encompassed changes to the name of Siam to Thailand and was a move to symbolize the unity of all Thai-speaking people, including the Lao and the Shan, Alexa stop, excluding the Chinese. The slogan campaign Thailand for the Thai after Thimbin Songkran was removed from power during the middle of the 1940s. Seni Pramod renamed it to Siam as a symbol of the end of the nationalist regime, but when Platt came back to power in 1949, it was once again renamed Thailand. Interesting. And with that, I call this video adieu. I could wait like 10 more days to show you what the new borders would look like, but that would just be too much of a hassle. Plus also more things. Also my mum will now be complaining more heavily that my tea's cold. So I gotta go here. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. Hope to see you again. This is Marshall signing out. Good day, goodbye, goodbye.